it provides real-time continuous runway condition reporting. We use specialized optical sensors and AI to accurately and objectively assess the conditions.
And you want to basically be able to go across a runway and you want to evaluate whether it has coverage that's problematic for airplanes, for their traffic and so forth. You're going down the runway is that the lighting varies, the surface of the runway varies and so forth. So you want something that's actually a more versatile filter, and that's where artificial intelligence comes in. Ultimately, when you develop an artificial intelligence engine as a filter for interpreting imagery, you're talking about now evaluating across a massive number of variables, and you're able to make it incredibly versatile. You're moving up into dual sensors, so now you have a visible sensor, and the visible imagery to the artificial intelligence engine is being overlaid with near-infrared imagery. The near-infrared provides spectral information, and so in the visible, we're really predominantly looking at variations in intensity. There's some color discrimination that's able to be done there as well. The near-infrared is useful to us because, for example, water and ice are specifically different looking. So if you look in particular ways at, say, a surface that's covered with water and it's freezing, you actually can tell the point at which it freezes based on the way the near-infrared sensor will detect another dimension of information that you can utilize, because maybe you're having sleet or rain and so forth, and right now the runway's wet, but you really want to know when it gets to the point where that runway starts to turn into layers of ice. And with the near-infrared sensors, it's been demonstrated that you can actually do that with incredible accuracy, and based on the spectrum and knowing the underlying substrate, you can tell how deep it is. Going beyond that, because now you're acquiring something that has spectral discrimination capability, now you can start to say, well, maybe I'm not just interested in water and ice. There are other things on runways that can be very interesting, things that perhaps that came from de-icing or anti-icing and so forth that degrade airplane brakes over time. So how much of it remains on the runway may be of interest, and maybe there's other contaminants as well. This gets further into an area that is more developmental for Team Eagle and myself, because you know there's spectral information there, but really the issue is utilizing the ability to acquire it and artificial intelligence. How robust an algorithm can you develop? Ultimately, being able to take this into a laboratory environment on a known substrate and detect chemicals and so forth, that's something that's actually pretty well known. So, the last one we're talking about is, again, active illumination, but now we're talking about basically gated imaging. So gated imaging has been applied to many things. In this case, if you have a runway during a storm and you want to be able to go out there with snowplows, say that they're in the future and they're driverless snowplows or something, and you're going to go send them out in a team and they're going to clear that runway and then get off the runway and so forth. It'd be nice if you could be sure that they can see each other and not run into each other and so forth. And if you're actually doing it in heavy weather of any kind, raw visible imagery, especially at night with lights and so forth, the lights reflect most heavily toward what's right in front of you. And if you expect that next truck to be 40 meters ahead of you, then having something within 1 meter in front of the sensor completely saturated with the light that you're sending out to detect is not very helpful. And so now you take advantage of the fact that with various forms of illumination and then with other tricks and so forth, you can basically set up your sensor so that it's only looking for things at an exact range. And in fact, you can scan that range if you want to. If you're not sure where something is going to be that you're looking for, you can gate it accordingly.
Percent coverage is like the first question that you asked of airports, because it drives a bunch of other decisions. So our goal is to try to help objectify that process so that, okay, that's the first things first. That secondly, once you have a certain percent coverage, you're asked to report what's the type and depth. And so then we're going to try to help make that more objective. like from whether it's ICAO or EASA, the FAA, to look at decision support tools to help make that process better. So.